Before February 24th, I think the narrative among our adversaries, and certainly even among some of our allies, and when I've talked to them, a lot of our business outside of America, was something like, well, you in America, you love liberty, you produce great films, but in fact, the adversaries are as good as you are on military, and they're willing to do things you're not. And I think the February 24th and what's happened in the Ukraine, involving technology in ways some can't really talk about always in public, has changed the narrative around war and America to it's the liberty-loving, tech-building people of the West, especially of America, who produce products that are so superior that the non-freedom-loving people need to shiver a little more than they have in the past. And this is crucial for the West and all of our allies who primarily love the freedoms and liberties we have, to show our adversaries that in fact we are superior at modern warfare, which I would define as tech-enhanced kinetic attack weapons. So software enhanced. The fact that software is eating the world is horrifically important for businesses, most of our businesses in the private sector, but it's particularly advantageous for America because America is the best at building software. And the fact that we can build weapons, software-enhanced weapons that really make our adversaries quiver, as Senator Graham said in a more articulate way than I could, that prevents war. And now, what does that mean for the tech sector? You're seeing a lot of tech companies who once thought the way to support the U.S. military was to first hand technology to our adversaries, and this has shifted. There's more of a unity of we are going to support the U.S. government, not just crazy Palantir and their crazy, batshit crazy CEO. It's like we are going to support the U.S. government. And this is crucial. It's like we have the resources in this country. We often have not used them to support our warfighters. And that's changed, and in great part because our adversaries are clearly just worthy of getting kicked in the fanny. In reality, American business has decoupled from China. And I would say the dynamic in this country is very much one of skepticism, and that is going to affect our policies. And I believe, you can argue about what should happen, but what will happen is a decoupling. Now, again, I'm not saying that's what one should want, but if you look at the pressures on business, the pressures on military, the pressures on polity, Americans by and large support this. And then, again, in American business currently, 5-6 years ago, there were a lot of industries that thought they were going to export to China and America. There still are some, very few. And so that's just going to have a very different dynamic on the future. And again, I would disambiguate is and ought. I think that is what's going to happen. We, of course, didn't have to flee Russia. We were never there. So, So I think, honestly, I think good moral choices will lead to good business choices. But I think what really is going to hurt Russia over the long haul is just, in my business, you need the best of the best of the best of the best. And they do not want to work in a country that is invading their neighbor and committing atrocities. And it's not, the GDP in Russia is just not one that most international businesses are particularly focused on. That's different than China, obviously, although I'd say that's more European businesses. What will really mess up your ability to build complicated technical systems is an inability to explain to people what is good about my country. And again, it doesn't have to, and I think that's why people fled, and I don't think they're going to go back very quickly. And it's not actually about the capital market, it's about the moral market. I think it is an indisputable fact that there are certain things, software platforms, that are disruptive, and America is the focal point of building. And there are other countries, Israel is quite strong, there's some strong companies in France. It is absolutely essential that we make decisions that are long-term in unison with the countries that allowed us to grow. In this case, for most of us, the United States of America. And I don't think we should be allowed to just say, oh, we got rich here. We are the wealthiest, most powerful people in industry in the world, but we don't support the United States of America. And why? Because you see in the Ukraine, and you will see in other places, that the products we build actually sway the world to our direction. Not as a matter of theory, not as a matter of rhetoric, but a matter of fact. And that's why I think we have a higher level of responsibility.